Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Kriscoolmod. It's very important that I explain something about the internet speed, about the Syncovery. When you do your Syncovery, a lot of people do some comment. They text me and say, "Hey, Chris, I have a big internet provider, high-speed internet. How come when I do my Syncovery, it doesn't download fast?" First, I have to explain two things: the internet speed and the amount of files. Okay, first, I have to explain to you, maybe you're not aware, you don't know this. In the internet, when you check your speed, when you do your speed test, and your provider is telling you that you have 1000 megabit per second download speed, there is something that you don't know. I'm going to explain to you. It's sometime you will have megabyte and sometime you will have megabit. Okay, what I mean is all the provider internet, they use the megabit term, okay? And sometime on Windows or in the Syncovery, they use the megabyte. What's the difference? It's very simple. 1 megabyte, when you have the big B after the M, all right? It's 1 megabyte equal 8 megabit, all right? So what I mean, if your provider is telling you that you have 800 megabit, usually that's the term. You can have 800, 1000, 200, maybe 50, maybe 1500 megabit, depends on your supply, but it's very easy. So if you have, for this example, 800 megabit, a small b after the M, it will equal 100 megabytes. Okay. So if you open Syncovery and the download speed is Syncovery use the megabyte. I know you're going to be confusing, but technically, if you want to compare your speed with Syncovery, you have to divide per 8. All right. So you have 100 megabyte in Syncovery. So in Syncovery, I'm going to write Syncovery. You have a speed of, I don't know, 50 megabyte, the big one. All right. So you have to multiply by 8 to compare with your speed. All right. Hope you understand. So this is 400 mega small. I'm gonna. All right. So basically, you have 8 times more bit than byte. So if you want to compare a mega, if you want to compare, I'm going to show you here. Maybe you're going to understand. Okay, I'm going to show you that's what I mean. This is Syncovery page. Okay, see here, that's the speed. So you start Syncovery, you compare the speed with your internet provider, you text me, you say, "Hey Chris, I only download at 4 megabit, all right, with the big B, all right? So you have to multiply this number by 8 to compare with your provider, or devise your provider speed to compare with this, all right? Because 1 megabyte equals 8 megabits. So 1 bit is 8 times bigger than a byte. So Syncovery, this is Syncovery, and this is internet. All right. So one way or another, it's 1 byte is 8 times smaller than a bit. So you have to multiply or divide. Okay. Usually, if you're lost and you don't understand anything, just see a big B after the M or a small b. All right. So 1 MB with a big B, it's 8 times smaller than or you can say in your head, you have one. I know it's confusing. But technically, you have to multiply the amount of Syncovery. All right. So here you have a big B. You have to multiply by 8 to equal the small b. All right. So now, if I took this picture and you're downloading at 4 megabit, you multiply by 8, you will have 16, 24, 32. All right. And another thing I have to explain. When you're downloading a big files in Syncovery and you're downloading a small files. When Syncovery work, it will compare 14 million files on the D drive and let's say 4, 5, 6, and 10 million files on the other drive, all right? So the way Syncovery works, it compares all the files. After, it will download multiple files at the same time, all right? So, and this picture is downloading 3 files, but I think on your Syncovery it will download like 7, 8 files at a time. Okay? To help you understand why you not maximize the speed, it's because it's downloading multiple files at the same time. Okay? If I set Syncovery to download 1 file, it can be fast. It's not going to be faster because it's going to download like 1 million small files one by one. Okay? I'm going to show you something so you're going to understand. Let's pretend the left window is it's my server. All right? I'm going to try to find a big files like Microsoft. This is a big files. I'm going to open another window. That's your PC, all right? So on the right side is your PC, and on the left side is my server, all right? I'm gonna go on C. I'm gonna go to download. I'm gonna delete everything. Okay, so right side, it's you, all right? Now you connect to my server. And this is my server. Let's pretend I'm going to compare 1 big file, the speed, and I'm going to compare 1 folder with, let's say, a ton of files at the same time. You will see the difference. So now you're downloading 1 big file. Okay, look the speed. It's very, very fast. Okay? So this is megabyte. This is 8 times of a megabit. Look the speed, 244 megabit. All right. So it was fast because you copy for this, you downloading one big files. Now, if I take a folder with a ton of mini files, because when the download and the computer is dealing with a lot of small files, it is working more on dealing with the files than downloading the files. So I don't know what I'm gonna take for this example. A PS3 game, something with a ton of files. I'm gonna go to PS3. So you're gonna understand. So what I mean is, when you have multiple small files, you're never gonna reach a high speed. Where's the PS3 game? I'm gonna take a game. This folder has a lot of files, so you will see the speed is gonna be now the speed, because they're small. This is not a good example. Resident Evil. I know it's got a ton of small files. Resident Evil. Where's Resident Evil? Rock. If I click, how many files? 36 files. It's not enough. GOG Game. I know GOG Game. They have a lot of. Where's the GOG Game? Big Fish. I know those games, they have a ton of files. 40 files. I tried to find a GOG game. Oh, here. They're compressed. Anyway, doesn't matter. When you have a ton of small files, the speed's gonna be lower. If you go on Syncovery, you do the O drive and you're downloading the new Xbox game, it should be faster, big files. But don't worry. So you need to understand that this video is and you have to understand that 1 megabyte with the big B, all right, equal 8 megabytes. It can be useful for you to understand that 800 megabit equal 1 megabyte, all right? Because some applications, sometimes they use megabyte and sometimes they use megabit. So if you compare both of them, it's going to be misunderstood, all right? That's it. Also about the speed. Do not use the Wi-Fi on your internet. Wi-Fi suck for Syncovery. Use a LAN cable. Also, on your window, if you buy my RetroBeast, it's already set up. You don't have to worry. But just to make sure, Windows security, make sure all your firewall are turned off. And very important, if you have antivirus, stuff like that, if you have a malware program or antivirus, you have to make an exception. You have to tell the program, that you don't want the anti-spyware, antivirus, anti-whatever shit. You have to make an exception for the D, E, O, P, and Q drive. Because if you have an antivirus running, it will scan the D drive, and it will decide to remove the whatever the files that it think it's a virus. There is no virus on my system, but it will detect that some game or some stuff are virus, so your RetroBeast will not work properly. That's it, guys. Just want to explain the internet speed, the amount of files. You're never gonna reach your full speed with Syncovery. If you are Patreon, it's a dedicated server. You should have better speed because there is less people. It's another server just for Patreon. Close your firewall. Make sure you are on LAN cable. Make sure your router modem doesn't have any firewall or block your communication if you have problem. So that's it, guys. Sample video. Because for the past year, I have a lot of people say, "Oh, I don't reach the full speed," and I just look at the Syncovery, and Syncovery give a smaller number. All right, it's on megabyte, and your internet it's on megabit. So you have to multiply by 8. Still, you will have a lower download, but maybe a better compression of megabit and megabyte. That's it. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Have a great day. See you later. Bye-bye.